If you're wondering why we haven't covered March of the Machine Aftermath yet, uh, no reason. Also, we kind of wanted to see how it played out. Wizards of the Coast has been making some interesting business decisions, and we'll get into a little bit. It's just me today. I'm your host, Isaiah, and this is Locked to Loot. Now, I always had Chris dial us out.
We do not plunge headlong into folly on the orders of a single madman. Marines, deploy the garrison! He's got nukes.
You're the last boots on the ground.
Position standby for defensive fire.
Jedi. Like my father before me.
Ding! Vex on the field.
Attention on deck. This channel is now under military control.
Okay, so March of the Machine Aftermath. Something interesting happened with this because this set is essentially, I feel like it's a test set. When you're going into March of the Machine Aftermath, it feels like a test set where you're going, well, how do we do this? It's a 50 card set, not a lot in it, but it's supposed to wrap up the story of March of the Machine. So much has happened, and it kind of sets up story stuff for the future. We'll be covering the story last. Before that, of course, we're going to cover the cards. And before that, we're kind of going to discuss the release a little bit. Okay, we'll just get right into it. So the release of March of the Machine Aftermath. I'm just calling it Aftermath from here on out. The release of Aftermath was how do I say it? Rocky. So the thing is, they sold these packs. Now, these packs are epilogue packs. They're significantly smaller than a normal booster pack, being that they're only 5 cards. 2 foil uncommons, a foil rare mythic, and a traditional foil card of any rarity. I think the biggest issue with this release is the question of why does it exist? And I'm kind of concerned about this, that they're kind of testing the waters with this kind of thing. Smaller releases of, I mean, not all bad cards, but it's like these smaller releases of smaller packs. They're trying to nickel and dime us again. So it's very frustrating, especially coming out of all of the other stuff that Wizards of the Coast has done. Um, March of the Machine was not a stable release. There was a lot of problems. That being that March of the Machine stuff showed up in earlier packs. I'm pretty sure that March of the Machine stuff showed up in All Will Be One packs. And then they sent the Pinkertons after people. So, yeah, I know. I'm gonna brush right by that. Do some research on your own for that little bit of Pinkerton bit. But Aftermath begs the question of why is this not in the main set? Why did or why was these not in like a core set? This could have been easily fleshed out into a 2023 or whatever year they're on core set instead of this little 50 card release of $3 packs of 5 cards. No one wants 5 card packs. They're either looking to nickel and dime us with these little sets, which, oh yeah, that's what the Magic community wants. More releases. No. And then of course there's the bit about changing the rotation for standard. I'm not gonna get out of that because I got out of the standard cesspool in Kaladesh for a reason. So I'm just gonna get right into the cards. Because so I mean I can't. Okay, never mind. I gotta get into the story a bit. Here's the interesting thing about the first card we're going to cover is kind of where the story picks up for this. Now, the issue with March of the Machine, the issue with Aftermath is it doesn't quite explain. So a lot of people kind of saw some stuff. Now, the first card we're going to talk about is the Spark Rupture. When a Spark Rupture enters the battlefield, draw a card. Each planeswalker with one or more loyalty counter loses all abilities and is a creature with power and toughness equal to the number of loyalty on it. So this is what's fascinating. And the reason I bring this up is this because this plays into the entire set and the story going forward. A bunch of planeswalkers were desparked at the end of March of the Machine. Spark Rupture is not a good card. It's good for like messing with planeswalkers, but that's about it. What I'm saying is it's interesting that this card is pretty much the story summed up. The aftermath is, everybody's kind of cleaning up the planes they're on after getting their sparks stolen, ripped out, whatever. Um, I think the most exciting card out of the set for people has been Karn Legacy Reform. Legendary Artifact Golem, 5 mana, power and toughness equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. Beginning of your upkeep, add 1 colorless for each artifact you control. This mana can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells, and it doesn't leave your until the end of the turn, so you keep it between phases. People are excited for this card. I don't know if it's going to be competitive in like modern or legacy, but I'm like, colorless artifact commander, let's go. It does so much. Because treasures are artifacts. There's so many different things that are artifacts that you can throw them into any artifact deck, and it's like, cool. Now you get a bunch of extra mana to cast artifacts. Um, but yeah, or activate abilities. Sorry. Um, Activating abilities is another option for him. Honestly, I think he's good. I think he's really cool. Another creature kind of coming out of this set is Tyvar the Bellicose. Whenever one or more elves you control attack, they gain Death Touch. Each creature you control has whenever a mana ability of this creature resolves, put a 1/1 number of 1/1 counters on it equal to the amount of mana this creature produced. This ability triggers once per turn. Fascinating card. Elfball, I don't think they needed another black green commander, but they've got it. So this synergizes well with like Priest of Titania, um, all the elves that tap for a bunch of mana based on how many elves you control. Any elf that taps for mana, you know, but benefits if you can double your mana, cause it to tap for a bunch. There's a lot that you can do, but I don't think Commander needed another elf ball commander. Honestly, I think it could be cool. I don't think it was necessary. And that's kind of my feeling with this whole set. Kind of cool, not necessary. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, if it enters the battlefield this turn, draw a card. Another hasty commander. Um, we've got a couple of those going for you. That is Samut, Vizier of Noctamoon. First strike, Vigilance, Haste. Oh, 1 red, 1 green, colorless, 2/3. Pretty good. Could be a cool like aggressive commander, or just as a 99 in like any number of haystacks, because I know there's a bunch of haystacks coming out. Back to Tyvar though, I never brought him down. He's a 5/4 for 4 men, 2 in Golgari. Honestly, all these planeswalkers that got desparked were like stuff that you didn't really care about. You're like, oh yeah, they were a thing. Kiora of the Deep, 3, Simic, green blue for those who are kind of new to Magic or aren't familiar with our color pie. Vigilance, Ward 3 for a 4/5 Merfolk legendary creature noble. Whenever you cast a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent from your hand, look at the top X cards of your library. X is that spell's mana cost. You may cast a spell from among them with mana value X or less without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom. Oh, yeah, yeah. Krakens. When you hear Krakens, you think Cascade, right? Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure, like, when you think Krakens, you think Cascade. Um, Although this kind of gets me an idea going for like uh, a Kraken Leviathan Octopus like Sea Serpent deck. Cool stuff, Stormtide Leviathan, Coma, all kinds of things you could run her with. Um, she's very much a tribal matters, so I don't think she's gonna see much play. Honestly, that's my issue is the only card in here so far that I have seen that I'm like, ooh, that one's good was Karn. The rest of them have been kind of meh. You got Nahiri, who's a Boros. She has affinity for equipment. Equip creature you control attacks. Impulse draw it, and if you can cast it for free without equal to if its mana cost is equal to the number of equipment you control. Again, not the best. I think one of the better cards if you're looking for tribal stuff. Sarkhan, Soul of Flame. Dragons you control cast 1 less to cast. Whenever a dragon enters your battlefield under your control, you may have Sarkhan, Soul of Flame become a copy of it. except its name is Sarkhan Solaflame, and it's legendary in addition to its other types. So changing the name of the creature does matter because, as you know, the legendary rule checks the creature's name. So, um, double Ur-Dragon, anybody? He's a human shaman, but um, he's still like 3 mana, 2/4. Put him on the field. Your dragons now cost 1 less. Running a pure dragon deck, your those cost cuttings are amazing for you. Nissa Resurgent, landfall. If Add 1 mana if this is the second time it's resolved. Reveal an elf or elemental and put it into your hand. Again, not that like you're not looking for that. oomph. Um, and honestly, I don't think anything here's really got it. You've got Sigarda, Font of Blessings could be an interesting commander. Other permanents you control with hexproof. You can cast angel and human spells from the top of your library. Good for an angel deck. Um, that's the thing is this feels like we didn't have time to put this anywhere. I don't know. Put it in its own set. Call it Aftermath. Um, honestly, they're reprinting Training Grounds, so that's a bonus. Um, but overall, just looking through it, I'm going, there is not a lot here, and I get it. It's a 50 card set, but I'm like, none of this stuff is what people want. These are all like, okay, why weren't these in if you were doing a lot of these, for instance, not the Planeswalkers, cut the Planeswalkers. Karn, Narset, Tyvar, Samut, Calyx. I think Calyx was a Planeswalker. I'm not sure. I haven't been watching the story too closely. Nahiri, Kiora, Ob, and Sarkhan, Nissa, all of them, go away. Um, the question is, why isn't like Niv Mizzet Supreme, Pia Nalar, Consul of Revival, Sigarda, Font of Blessings, Danitha, Nubanalia's Light. Nah, why aren't these cards in the main March of the Machine set, except for we were going for the double legendary creature thing. You're letting that stupid like the the little we're doing our thing where the characters partner up. Okay, but you can have major characters around too. These guys were doing stuff too. Pia was defending Kaladesh. I'm pretty sure Jarina was like running around Ikoria, like I don't know, riding or hunting a monster. No, I think she was leading survivors. Niv Mizzet was definitely around. So I'm going, okay, I get you can't have these in the like you have the theme and these didn't fit. But why are you doing this mini thing? Um, instead of, flushing it out, doing something different, push it off a ways. Not like Magic fans are like waiting on anything. I mean, the next set is what, Eldraine? Guys, push the releases a little bit. You can have time to work. Honestly, this is disappointing. Um, this is such a money grab of a thing, and I really hope nobody buys it because Magic cannot get away with this kind of crap. They're already selling $6 booster packs, and $40-$50 commander decks every like other month, which is already way too much. I get it. Hasbro's going bankrupt, but Wizards of the Coast is actually profitable, so let it do its thing. This is disappointing. Like, this is another attempt at releasing a product that they can do between major sets for a cheaper price to really nickel and dime people. And Magic players are just not for it. What I recommend with this set, get your Karn. Get him as a single. If you're looking for one of the cards, get him as singles. No one's buying this, nobody wants this, and none of them are amazing, which means they're all gonna be dirt cheap. I think the most like expensive one's probably gonna be Karn, followed by Samut and Tyvar. And lastly, the other one that could have some money to it is Sarkhan. Everything else is so niche. So niche. Calyx is alright, but yeah, everything in this set is very niche. Don't buy it. Buy your singles. You'll have a much better time buying singles. Um, and honestly, this is disappointing. With all the disappointment that's going around in like the Magic and D&D community, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go play some Zelda. You know, Tears of the Kingdom came out this weekend. I'm going to play some Zelda. I'm your host Isaiah. I'm logging out.